Tony and I were talking during the break, and we were talking about, life. And one thing that we mentioned was, there was one thing that he said earlier that really gave me like shivers all over my body, was like, we're gonna do this for life. And that really spoke to me. And I also, we were talking about, okay, we're doing this for life, which is the locking for life, but what about what happened before that? So there's a few things that you wanted to mention that were important, and I think you should share them.
Yes, when I first grabbed the mic, I was a little stiff there. But yes, I think it's also important to be a little educational in what we do. So I did do my best on that other side too. I have 2 football championships with the university. So that goes along with the health thing that I mentioned to you earlier. So it's very important to take care of your body. So extensively I studied about the body and to the university, and so that's important for us. Also, becoming part of other organizations, joining fraternities, and I became a junior lifeguard. It's just so many things that I've added to it to try to make it better for us. So I just wanted to mention a few things. Yes.
Thank you. I think it was important too. He said it was important that he mentions it, but I think it's important because everything we do, everything is related. Even if some of the lockers are like super scientists. So yeah, there's like 3 over there. They're hiding right there. There's some like lawyers in the house, but everything's connected, and it all gets, one thing will teach you stuff for the next thing, and it's all gonna help and meet at some point. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna talk about duos. So when I started locking, my partner was Goldilocks, for those that were there, Cindy. So that was when me and her, we were like always on some crazy, like, okay, now you're gonna slide under, get up. And it was about like complicity too. Because it's something that comes with duo. It's not just, okay, we're doing this battle. There's a whole relationship that builds over time, and that goes beyond dance a lot of times. So I wanted to know, like even here, I want to talk about some of the legendary, duos. We have Gogo Brothers for sure. You both here, Funky G and Vovan. We have like P-Lock and Jimmy Soul, Firelock, Hurricane, Track Lock and Boobies, and also, also Track Lock and Mr. Scramble Lock too. You guys had a team. Apachuli Lock. I can't say the name. Apachuli Lock. Okay, whatever. Quenta Lock. How do you? Maybe you can tell us. Maybe start today, right now, and talk about the Gogo Brothers. Talk about how the origin. How did you guys get together? Can you share with us?
The original group.
The original. And then the sons.
Okay. Well, we started out first as a social club. We were going to high school, and Catholic high school. It was an all-boys school. So, it would get boring at times. Being around 300 guys all day. So we decided to try to find a hobby or something that we can do together. We all played sports together. We played football together. We ran track together. Me and Buddy Gogo were the number 1 and 2 hurdlers in Los Angeles for 4 years. So we were always active physically. But we decided after going to school parties, school events, that maybe we should start dancing more and try to make the party more lively. So me and Buddy decided to first put the group together called Gogo Brothers, himself and I, and we did. And we created some other smaller groups called the Yo-Yo Brothers, and about 50 groups we created behind us. And so we got together, we started making steps. First it was interesting because Camelot Jr. and Rerun actually went to my high school for 2 years. I was with Rerun for a couple of years. Greg was always coming to the football games. Rerun was an actual yell leader for the football team. So for the people in the bleachers, Rerun would entertain everybody through the football game, through the whole football game. When I first saw him, he had a Ripple bottle in his hand, and he was on, if you guys are the bleachers, he was on the bleachers. Are you rippling? Are you rippling? You know, he's a really jovial guy. Rerun was very jovial and funky. So he actually named me. I went to a club one night in Hollywood, and they were all jamming in the cypher, and I was a wallflower. It was like checking everybody. I was the youngest cat, so I was kind of scared to go out there. But Rivas pulled me out there in the middle of the floor and said, "Hey everybody, this is Gogo. He never stops." That's how I got started. And so after that day, my life did change. It did change. I became a part of the Lockers. I had the Gogo Brothers. But the important point here is the Gogo Brothers, we started out as a duet. And then we put OG Skeeter Rabbit in the group, so we became a trio. And that was an endeavor for us because the Lockers built a trio. And when we say trio, it means the best guys that can do the fluent movement in the group. You know, it was kind of hard to do with your ways, things like this, as a trio. So a few of the guys could never make the trio. Don could never make the trio. Slim could never make the trio. So Fluky, Shab, Greg, and myself were basically the trio elements for the group, meaning that we can do most of the new moves that were made and most of the old moves that were created by Don. We're able to collaborate together and get these things done to make a trio. There was no essence of duet or two people yet. This came to me through Luxe Caboose. It's my second generation Gogo Brothers because it was only two of them. So I auditioned Luxe Caboose and Cisco, and after I auditioned them, I agreed that we'd work together. So we started working together. So this is how the duet was created by Luxe Caboose's endeavor in Cisco. So I worked with these guys for about 10 years, working with just two. If you remember, I was mentioning earlier, the trio was the most important thing to us. So then after the Lockers, I was able to work with Caboose and Cisco and come up with the duets. I want to do quartets, quintets, but these are very difficult things to do. It's easy to put 5 people in a line and say, okay, let's do steps together, but to actually choreograph that is very difficult. So the duet, the two people thing is what you're carrying on now. It's from my eyes, because it was no one doing duets before. It was only trios, solos, and group. So now you guys are carrying on the duet, which is the most difficult, is the duet. So that's.
Oh, well, can you also tell us about the Gogo Brothers, your sons? How did they come about? Like, how did you?
Well, in Japan, I had been there maybe 5 or 6 years, and things had started becoming a little slow. So I actually did pray for two kids, and I got it. And, he blessed me with 2 boys, and so everywhere, this is hard to maybe relate to a lot of people, but everywhere I went every day, I took the kids with me. Get up in the morning, dress them up, give them their breakfast, and whatever job I had, we all 3 were out the door together. This went on for about 6 years.
Wow.
And so they were able to pick up the commercial aspect of it, filming commercials, doing live stage, doing fashion shows. They were just going through the whole track of what I do. So this is how they basically picked up their knowledge. And so after 18 years of locking, I had 5 years, the last 5 years of the 17, I started bringing some of the electric boogaloo or boogaloo Sams, EV ski, popping Pete and sugar pop basically, to Japan to teach the kids how to pop. And so they started getting their foundation in popping also. And after they became 18, things started getting rough again. They started saying, oh, locking's dead. You might as well forget it, man. Locking's finished. So I told the boys they can pop. They can release the popping. Once they released the popping, things changed.
Can I ask a question before you guys answer? Because I want to know how you guys built your duo also. How did you get over those period of time that was like, locking is dead? Because we've been through some of that too, even Montreal and other places in the world. Like, how did you overcome those, I don't know how to call them.
Low times.
Yeah, low times. Low times.
Low times. Well, this happens, from my experience, maybe about every 10 years, you're gonna feel this kind of repercussion come from the dance world. And it's with any style, it's not just with locking. But there comes a period sometimes where everybody becomes like a little bored, if I may say, with what's going on or what styles are happening. So that's when I feel that you have to be creative. You have to start making new steps, looking for new music, trying to, create this new feeling. I think is a base for getting out of that kind of low situation. Yeah.
Thank you.
Can you guys talk about your duo? Or if you had maybe duos before, Yeah.
Actually, we both had duos before. My very first partner name was Karamba. And then I entered one time just to go with Groovy, but like my very first partner was Karamba. So he's a guy of my age. We started looking around the same time and we just started practice together. Just from my point of view, locking is really made to be shared. So I feel really better when I do a team battle, 2 versus 2, 4 on 4, whatever, teamwork, than doing it by myself. I really like battle in general, but I really enjoy the work before with your partner when you enter 2 on 2 or 4 on 4, whatever. Because the moment you're sharing, the preparation, the routine aspect, I really like routine and choreo. So all this, you cannot leave it when you do it on the one-on-one battle, because you just practice by yourself, do your move, and you leave it alone. So this other side, the teamwork, I really enjoy it, and that's my favorite part in the battle today. So to me, it was always important to have a partner. I really had this goal. I look up to the guys like Gogo Brothers, Philip, Jimmy Sue, Loic Manu, and that was like, wow, I really love this duo thing. So that was really my goal and my dream, to find the right partner. So, like my very first partner, Kamamba, he stopped dancing. Yeah, he stopped dancing because of life choice, let's say. And I will let you continue.
You're really better to explain that stuff.
Okay, so I had a partner before. We danced since 2007 together. So his name Andrew, but his surname is Moroz. And Moroz in Russian, if you translate Moroz, it means frozen. Very cold, Moroz. It's like when winter comes and everything is Moroz. So it's his surname. That was funny, but it makes for us a lot of joke, but it's real surname, Moroz. So we started to dance in 2007 when I have some knowledge about the locking, about foundation, I just take him and say, let's go to the class, I will teach you and I will show you the moves and you will repeat. Like this I can grow up on myself and it will be more interesting to dance together. And on that time we don't know nothing about the 2-on-2 battles. It's like just the experience to dance choreo together, because we have the group, it's our crew, it's ID crew, and we dance the show on the stage. So we teach, I show the basics, but also we make a lot of routines together for the show. And after we understand and it's not understand. After we start to know about the battles, like the people introduce them, they have the Just Debout and this kind of stuff battle, and we was like, wow, cool. So we can bring that routines for the Just Debout, so we can dance in these routines in the battle, and we start to practice more solo, more freestyle and locking. And that's how we start. And after we have a lot of experience in Russia in 2-on-2 battles, we have a lot of experience in more in Russia. Yeah, and Just Debout sometimes, like it's 2008 we didn't pass, 2010 we pass, 11 we pass. It's like every time we put some goal, so. And we try to take it, like we try to have it. And but in 2012, I started to feel that Moros is going more interesting for the other ways, and not in dance way. Like he more interesting in the music, in the rock and roll. Yeah. Yeah, and the rock and roll, and the singing, the play guitar, and for him, the dance it's like a hobby, but the music, it started to be more professional for him, and he understands that if he want to put the music for more high level, he should go out and just focus on that. And in 2012, I started to feel that maybe next year he will stop. Like I don't know what's happened, and this is what's happened after. And I watch around what's happened in the Russian dance scene, in the locking dance scene, and outside, like, with who I can dance if Moros will stop. And I have there's some students on that moment, but that student, they was not really for the big battles. I was interesting to dance with them. But at the same time, I will understand that it's not enough for Just Debout or for something big. And in 2011, the first time when I see the Funky J when she came to LA on the one, and she had the battle with Scramble, and she go for the final. So, and I was the. So yeah, and Gemini tell me like, there is a good potential girl from France, watch the footage. And I watched the footage and I was surprised, like, wow, how it's new, like she just become, and she just showed a strong level. And I, on that moment, I was not thinking about dance together, but I wanna meet her first time, because I see the fire, like fire, like fire, like she wanna kill everybody, she wants like fire. And on that moment, I feel that I like this fire, like it's something that the new generation need to grow up. And a few years ago, when Moros stopped. So in my mind, I keep like, okay, she grow up, few years come, now it can be good duo, because we have the same height. We have the same height. We have the kind of same mentality, like we both want to go more. and they both want to grow up, and they both understand. They both prefer the more structured way in logging, more foundation, more power, and this, and why not? So I just write for Julia like, hey, yo Jay, my partner Moros is finished. He stopped to dance, to go rock and roll. So maybe we try to go just the Boo next year together. And she tell me, sorry, but no. I ask, why? And she said, I have a partner. And I was like, wow, how? Because I know with Caramba, his partner, but it's not like, they dance together, but for real, it's like, it's possible, then they are not really duo, like this. And when she said, no, I have a partner, I was like, no, then it's not Caramba, it's not about him. I was like, okay, Julia, who? And she told me this.
Richie Rich.
She told me Richie Rich. And I was like, okay, so...
Why I say Richie? At that time I didn't have the partner because Caramba stopped and the Goofy was like a one-time try just the Boo. And Richie is like the fire person, so he was like, you have no partner for just the Boo, you need a good partner. I have nobody. Okay, I'll go with you. Okay. So when he told me this, I was like really confused because it's like my sensei, so what can I do? Nothing. I cannot say for him, hey, sorry, I don't go with you. I go with this guy. So I was like confused, but I said, okay, I will talk with Richie. And I told Richie like, yo, but Vovan proposed me to go JD, maybe good idea? Like, yeah, go. So he said it's good idea, and then we went.
Yeah, and we start to prepare before because it's hard. We are from different countries. It's like it takes 4 hours to go to France and 3 hours from France to Moscow. that's strange, but it's like this, 3.5. We meet one time in Moscow in Locking Up 2013.
Yeah.
He was judged again.
There we have time to practice, but I don't remember we practiced before or before and after a little bit. Yeah, because in the dates of events it was impossible, but before and after, like she came early and she stayed 1 more week after, and we meet in France in the beginning of February. When I came for the hip-hop session, we practiced a little bit. And after I came maybe 2 weeks before Just the Boo for Paris to practice again. And it was the first battle when we danced together. But we always know the rules. So we make 4 routines, no, 5.
5.
Because I'm dead.
Just for selection.
Yeah, and we was ready, and in the first time, and we go for the final, Just the Boo from first time, and like this we understand. Okay, it works. Like so the plan which started from 2011 on the video in 2014 it works. Yeah, and like this we start.
But how do you prepare for battles? Because now there's a distance, right?
Yeah.
France, Russia. How do you guys, when you know you're going to do this battle, how do you guys prepare? How do you get together and...
Well, we always travel now, so I go to Russia, he comes to France for different kind of things, different kind of projects, so he can come for my event, I go for his event just for support, and like, we try to meet a few times in a year, and also in the work of 4 years now, because we started in 2014, we start to 30, yeah. We try to build some routine, and so it's like material years after years, you know. So you build the connection and you build your duo. So it's like it's a full-time process. It's not just we're gonna call each other 1 week before this battle because we have to do this battle. We are connected, so we are working together on different kinds of things. then maybe he's more focused on this project, me on this one, and then we're gonna link up again for another one. But it's like it's a real duo work, like years after years. So it's easier. It's not like you switch every month your partner and you have to restart a new work. So it's cool because you build it by the time.
Yeah, and also we know before which event we will take. For example, there is not so many events, then we join by the year. Maybe Julia a little bit more, me a little bit less, because I didn't dance in the event in Russia now, because since long time, and in all the events where I go and join, it's just international events from the other countries. So in the year, maybe 2, 3, maybe maximum 4, normally like this. And so before we know which event we will go and where it will be. So if it's just the Boo, it's always March. If it's UK Champ, it's April. If it's Old School Night in May. Yeah, so it's like we know where 2-on-2 battle can happen. So when we know it before, we can prepare it before. We can plan, okay, if you come to Russia for another event just for chill and enjoy, you come a little bit early, maybe 2 weeks before or 1 week before. Like this we will have time. And when she arrives, we direct go for the room and we start to understand what we need. Like we need routine, we need new routine, or we'll use old school one, or we need to clean routine, or we just, okay, let's practice on the solo now. Because we already have routines, maybe we need to focus on the solo more, because in the 2-on-2 battles, it's not just routines. Solo should be good too. The both should do good solo. So sometimes we just dance and do many rounds to make a solo on the good way, to have the free spirit, to have the freedom inside. Yeah.
Okay. I'll ask you more questions about your duos, but I would like to know, Tony, back when you were doing the original Gogo Brothers, how did you prepare for showcases? Because it was more showcases, right? It wasn't battles like today. How did you prepare for performances or the showcases, and how did it work at the time?
Well, basically we would just practice, and we didn't have studios at that time, so we practiced in the backyard or in a garage. But we would always try to, it was interesting then, in high school it was all about doing like a groupie thing, you have groups, when you go to a party there's a group there's a group there, and so we would always try to take whatever all the groups were doing, we would take all of the moves and put it together and then go to the party and try to make the party more livelier, and this started working for us. And so that's basically what we do, just practice, try to design something that make people happy, and then we do it.
And how did your locking change before the lockers and after the lockers? What did it bring to you? Or?
It made me a little more comfortable, I can say. When I first started, I was really, if you watch the Soul Train footage, I hadn't released myself yet. It was a problem for me. My biggest problem was to really open up. All of the other guys were pretty open. They were older, so they had that courage, the moves. But I was just coming up still. I was playing sports. I was kind of tight, so locking helped me to really loosen up and be more natural with my movement. So, yes.
And I have another question for you regarding that. How do you see that the Gogo Brothers today, how did they build their relationship as, first of all, they're twins, right?
No, they're not twins. No,
I keep
no.
thinking they're twins. They're not
Everybody
twins.
thinks that.
I
No.
always thought, so how did they build their relationship, and what did you witness that made it so unique and so
Well,
tight?
what I always encouraged both of them to do was never fight. So I tried to keep the negativity out of their commitment and their relationship. So it worked out pretty good. So, you know, they were able to start building trust with each other as time went on. And if there was a disagreement, it would just it would be done quietly, not with a lot of noise or yelling or pushing or shoving, but just to sit down and try to work it out between each other. As the model I tried to create with them. Yes.
And just a few more questions about the duo. Like, what are the challenges? Like, first of all, it's very unique that you guys live in different cities. So we understand that you have a system when it comes to battles. But what are the challenges of, maybe you can also answer after Tony, but like of being with a partner? Like, how do you make sure that, you know, you're all unique beings, like you're saying, you're working on your own dance. How do you make sure that both of you shine or use the strength of one? Like, what's the work ethic like?
You can't give us all the secrets because tomorrow is you know, you can't give all the secrets. It's okay, just a little something.
I think first of all is to take each other first. When we started, he taught me a lot of things. He's more advanced on certain things, and maybe I had some other things to share with him. So first of all is to try to understand your partner first and learn it. So we really learn from each other, and still today, even when we just dance, the fact to exchange and make round, you're gonna see things. Oh damn, how we do that? You try to understand, and it's really like sharing each other dance. And in our choreo work, we always try to bring something in the routines. Most of the time, it's not just like we sit in the room or next to the mirror and like, okay, do one move. Like, it's not freestyle. It's like really think before. So we try to understand, okay, in this routine, what we will bring, what we're gonna create, which influence we're gonna throw inside. So for example, I can say some examples. It's okay, it's not secret. We have some routines really based on hip hop. So we're gonna really try to make the good balance and not go too far from the locking, stay locking, keep our locking feeling inside, but bring some hip hop spicy in it. So we're gonna make the handshake, and in this handshake we're gonna have the hip hop feeling, for example. One other is a Lindy hop. We try to bring the Lindy hop flavor inside the locking routine, but we make it like really seriously. We don't, for example, for this we took like classes, Lindy hop class. We try to understand, okay, then we try to start to mix with the locking, but we try to feel locking inside. And this is the hardest work, is to be creative, but stay connected to the root tree, and not be creative and go somewhere else. But in the same time, we want to be fresh and bring new things. So this is, I think, the hardest challenge, is to do new things, new stuff, but stay connected to the essence of locking. And make it together also, it's even harder, because if you make it by yourself, it's something, but if you make it two people, it's even harder, because they both have to feel the locking. I have an example about it, like we make a routine, it's like a puzzle concept. So everything is like puzzle, like 13. And in the beginning, when we do the routine, I really don't feel good, because I see the lines, I see our ID, and we do it with points, for example, like up and lock. So it's locking, but with the puzzle concept. But when we do it, I really don't feel that I'm locking. I feel like I'm doing form and angle, but I don't feel the locking inside. But after practice, do it, I start to feel, yeah, but this is a point. Okay, I do a line, but okay, I have the point feeling inside. Oh, and now, okay, I feel the lock inside. And after, little by little, step by step, I start to feel the good connection between our ID and the locking. So sometimes it just takes time because it's not easy to do. So it's a process.
So it's like, what is the challenge?
Yeah, challenge or the good things too. You can talk about.
Okay. So for me, it's really good thing and good challenge to stay together like mental, because when the people are very close, like they live in the same country, the same city, they always spend time together. So, or not possible, but normally they meet like one time on the week or one time in the month, and they can go to the cinema, they can talk. When they talk, they have the same spirit, so they grow up together. When you are far, like in France and in Russia, and you work on your things and you do your stuff, and you don't have a lot of time to talk sometimes, to go Skype and talk about everything what's happened. On that moment, both of us, we go on our way. So both grow up in their things. So, and in that moment, sometimes what's happened, for example, with some people, they both start to go for different ways. Or sometimes it goes like one grow up, he do a lot, and the one you just stay at home and play PlayStation. So when it's like this, and you meet for the battle or for something to do together, so the person who played PlayStation, show like this, yeah. So the person who played PlayStation, what is his plan for the life? You know, it's like what he want. He want just go for the battle, or he want to do something in the life. You know, his life thinks more than dead things now. So, and for me, it's the best example what I have. It's when we meet with Julia. I think it was 2016. It was before JD 2016. And when we meet and when we decide and we go, we have the good talking. It was really good talking, and we both, or before 18, I don't remember. But it's like when you talk with person, honest and like this, and you understand that he thinks same. And when you say, okay, it's good to win, but I don't care. And you say, it's good to win, but I don't care. Ah, okay, cool. So, like this you understand. Then she have more things, like priority, than to win that one. And you have more things, priority, like organize this, like more things, than win that one. So for you both, it's good to take it, but for you both, it's not like, okay, now we will kill ourselves. Because sometimes in the battle, it's somebody can do like this. Now jump, this move, kill yourself, but I want us to win. And he, I don't wanna jump. You know, why you don't wanna jump? I want to win. You know. So if you don't want this to make this happen, you need to understand both what you want both. Like how you watch on this now. And if you okay, you don't will feel bad after that. And that's what's happened, I think, with me and Moros, because after 2012, when we lost in JD in semi-final, it was our second semi-final, and on that year we was ready to go for the final, like a minimum. We want to go for the final minimum on that year. And for him it was like he really believed that we will take it this year. And when we lost against China, second time in the semi-final, I was like, okay, because I know already, then I will come back, it's okay. But I feel he go down that moment, like, he was very close, and after like, and like the hands go down. That's what I feel from him on that moment. And I understand maybe after that he will not want to come back, because for him it's like always a practice, but after boom. So, and this is important, mentality together. This is for me the best challenge, when you really try to bring it on the good way together, have good spirit in the team together.
Yeah.
This is cool. This is funny for me.
Yeah.
Just I wanna add, like, yeah, he's totally right. Like, I just talked more about the dance aspect, but the life aspect is really important too. So it's really important to be linked mentally. And this is stupid, but we like to play PlayStation. Now we wanna bring it to the board game, whatever. Like, we always try to have common interest in things and to share more than dance. Because what makes a duo great, I think, also is this connection and this understanding. And I have an amazing memory that I want to share. It's like in WTC, not this year, 1 year ago, after semi-final, I enjoyed myself, like bad. Really, I thought I cannot go to the final. I walk out and I feel I cannot walk. I fell and like, wow, I cannot dance anymore. And I know it was a common goal to win this trophy. 2 years ago we lost in the final, like close. So he could be like mad, like we need to win, I don't care, let's go. Like, he could be like that, but the action he did to me was the best. He just went outside and he came back with takoyaki, which is like my favorite food ever, and just brought me takoyaki. I was like, okay, I will dance, don't worry. It's just like this kind of moments who makes the team strong and who makes you strong together, above dance, more than dance. Really life, communication and life is the more important, and that makes your duo great, I think.
Wow. Okay.
Takoyaki. Okay. I agree with you there, little sister. It's important to, I think, to establish more than just a relationship on the dance floor, but to also, personally, establish a relationship, get to know each other, communicate more, find some things that you like and you don't like. This is all important because it creates a balance between you. So it helps us to stay focused when we're doing the duet. And another thing I'd like to add, it's also when you're doing like a duet or a trio or group thing, it's always good to keep your mind, if I may say, closed. It's an example is like when I'm getting ready to do maybe a judge demo, and sometimes you want to sit down and try to get a breath of air, relax, and prepare yourself mentally and physically to do this. And someone comes up to you and says, "Oh yeah, I want to take a picture," or "Can you do this for me?" That it takes your attention. So you have to close yourself off before you make your commitment to the stage. A lot of people I see can't do this. This is a very important point for us. You have to close yourself off to get out there and give them the best you can. Yeah.
So it's like closing off and recentering yourself
Yes,
before
yeah.
you express.
Before you- yeah.
Okay, that's really important.
Yeah, I'm happy now because Tony said this, and me, I a lot of time in the battles or some, I do this kind of stuff, but I do it not like I think about it. It's just happened, like, and that's it. Like I've just inside, and after try to be ready to go outside, to bring energy outside, and the people always thinking like I'm too crazy, like too like this and too
No.
close. But I'm happy that you say it now because it's really it's really good thing.
Yeah, and to make it a little simpler for you, why I said that too is because before you're ready to perform or dance or whatever you're gonna do, your heart rate goes up. And many people don't really understand these things. You know, it can become a very complicated thing for you too. So it's all about control. So you have to be very focused about the control that you have for yourself. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. We're gonna go to the next and last section of our discussion. We've got a lot of information, but we just want to know a few more things. So, can you talk to us about your collaborations? Like the different collaborations you have within your city, maybe internationally, maybe with other forms outside of locking, you know, with musicians, or what kind of collaboration work or projects you guys are on that you do
Like now?
now, yeah. Or maybe in the past too, or things that change your life. You know, like when you said you went to the lockers, it changed your life. So what are the things that, you know, you've done in collaborations that yesterday, before, and today?
Before, yesterday.
No, this is one thing to me that's it's a beautiful question because that's what my endeavor is to collaborate. And I've been collaborating now for over 40 years with musicians, dancers, singers, comedians, jugglers, you know, anybody out there in the art, you know, I have respect for if they're good at what they do. And some that are not good, we try to help them to become better. So yes, many collaborations. With me, it's maybe television, China national television, Japan national television, American national television is one plateau. And then with the live stages, it's world based. You know, most of the countries I go to, it's for live events. Also, universities. I've been able to help a lot of kids get into universities, and the things have changed with the dance. It's not just about only on the dance floor anymore. It's a more, you know, worldwide thing now, and the connections with producers, directors, even with Japanese drummers. You know, it's just all kind of connections going on with it right now. So this is why I feel that your generation now is at the perfect point for dance right now, because you're connected globally. It's just how you use it that you need to think about more. It's because you have all your elements out there. You have the internet. You have, you know, you're connected. It's just how and what you're gonna do with it.
Okay. You guys want to answer?
I would say in the beginning, I tried to collaborate with every lockers that I can even see anywhere. You know, you just like so happy, so hungry to learn and share moments. So every time you see a locker, you want to do something with it. Like, let's do a video, let's do this, let's do that. Like, you're really into it. Like it, yes. Oh my god, crazy. I was even more vague. Yeah, so yeah, at the beginning I feel like I was it just to link everybody and be connected with everybody. A little bit later with Locking for Life, we have the system on Facebook. You can see we have a page with every country. So you have Locking for Life Japan, China, Canada, Russia, France, Italy, like you can see every country. So this is a good way also to connect the locking scene. You're gonna go to another country, like for example you come to France, you write a post on the Looking for Life friends, I'm coming, so it's easy to connect with the locker in the country. So it's a good way. And later on, I tried to connect more with the music because I was playing drum for 10 years. I a little bit stopped because I was focused on dance, sorry. And now I try to connect back. So last year I had the chance to meet the JBs and actually play with them. So I tried to build some project with them, try to connect with the locking. And in my event I try to bring a live band. And I have a theater show now that I'm touring with a drummer. So I try to connect more the music side with the dance. That's my goal now. And yeah, I don't really know. Like I try to connect with everybody around. So yeah, maybe.
So, but I think the biggest one for me now it's collaboration on TV. Yeah, this one. Yeah, because in Russia I start the bigger project, dance project. It's same style as So You Think You Can Dance. A little bit different rules, but it's still same. It's two people. Normally it's two people dance choreography like in duo. So, and the people who joined that show, they start to be very famous in Russia, especially in Russia. For example, the people from the first season, they have 500,000 followers from 2 months. 500,000 followers for 1 month. And that gives for the people the credit, like they go out of the project and the people on the streets, they start to know that people, everybody take a picture. I mean, I didn't talk about the choreographers, with different, but the participants, they start to be very famous. But it's as example how that show works. It's very promote something. And my biggest collaboration, I try to push the locking for that show. For example, that costumes, the gold jacket. Not this one. Before it was before. The Scrabble will show now for you. Yeah. This one, the jackets. That costumes, they create on that show, on TV show. The channel paid for the costumes. Me, I dance with this costume with the girl in the show, with the participant, and after they say, okay, you can take this costume, and say, okay, let's go just do this costume. Yeah. They believe that I will bring it back, but not sure. I think they forget. Yeah. So. And in that TV show, it's cool because the 2 seasons before they want me to promote the phone company, and they show some tutorials from YouTube in locking, and I say, oh yeah, but that's this style. And they say, oh, it's good, so you can show some move. I say, yeah. And in promotion, they go crazy all the time when they have the break between parts. They every time, hey, it's Vovan. Now point. Oh, look. So like, you should dance locking. So like this, the people around the country, in the country, they start to know the word and the style. In dance we have that style, locking. Before they know about the breakings, maybe they know about the hip hop and contemporary. So now it's great, and people can say, locking. Yes, I heard about this. Maybe they don't understand how to dance, but they can know the name. So the next goal may be to push more people to come to that school and learn locking more. But it takes time, of course.
So all these collaborations are helping keep keeping locking alive, basically.
Of course.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about the low times, this is an example. Doing collaborations. I've seen Luckily do a lot of that here in Montreal too, like different projects to get locking out there. So yeah, that's really important.
Yeah, and also in the culture, I think the good collaboration, and we can help each other and join the events. For example, is a good example. We have the guy who really have the fire inside from the India, and he just get inspired by Gemini, and maybe somebody else, but I feel how he inspired by Gemini because he always follow and he always try to do something, and he really try to do something for the local community in India now. So when everybody was there, and everybody name's Rocky, and everybody was surprised because in India it's a really pure country, and you see the like 40 lockers and or 50 lockers, and everybody they know how to dance because he brings some people and they teach them there. And also it's not about the level of our age, it's about the fire from inside, you know, about the passion, the passion. So it's good because like this we can collaborate in between countries. Yeah, we can know each other, and we can help each other to grow up. So this is good inside the culture, collaboration between countries.
Thank you.
Well, this concludes our discussion. Thank you so much, guys. I'd like to thank